All the audience members rabble-rousing in the back. She's got stories for days, but her jokes are even better. Guys, make it real loud for Clara Becker! Hello! Season's greetings. It is so nice to meet you all. I've heard nothing but good things. Some of you may be familiar with some of my earlier work, scanning you in. And I'm sure, I probably handed you your ticket back, and you just locked eyes. You're like, yeah, that kid's got star quality. So this will be the test. What we're gonna see. So I'm Clara. I'm 24. I just turned 24. I'm 24, but I feel like I'm an old soul, and I'm young at heart, which really just means that I somehow suffer from both acne and arthritis. Medically speaking, I'm a geriatric teen. I'm also currently being treated for receding gums. And so all the time I'm hearing from medical professionals, it's great that you're catching this early on, it's great we're treating this so early. And it is, but also is it? Because why am I the only one of my peers using a prescription toothpaste? The arthritis is more of a recent development. It's the newest thing on the scene. I was diagnosed with arthritis a couple months back, and the same week that I was diagnosed with arthritis, I also got asked out by an 18-year-old. Do you realize how dynamic, the level of dynamism required to, in the same week, meet with your osteopath and get asked to homecoming? This is unreal. I was doing joint exercises and picking on a dress for Hoko. It was flattering to me. I said no. But it was nice, especially as someone like myself. I'm not the most confident when it comes to my appearance. My friend, I think, very aptly once described me as indie movie pretty. I assume we're all uncomfortably laughing because I am clearly a box office bombshell. But no, I feel like it's right. Indie movie pretty. Indie movie pretty is the outline of pretty. Indie movie pretty is the Barbie in the back of the dollar store, but Barbie is spelled with a Y for copyright reasons. And her price is marked down because Barbie's pupil was painted a little to the left. But it's still Barbie, I'm still Barbie. As women, did we ever get around to thanking Drake for Nice for What? Just handing us that anthem. Feminist thing, you seem to care. He was overlooked, snubbed. Drake is just one of those unsung feminist heroes, ironically. But it's true, if you listen to most other male artists, when they're trying to relate to the plight of women, of how difficult it can be to be a woman, they always talk about heels. And how difficult it can be to wear heels, and it's yeah, that can kind of suck. But there's other things, right? There are other issues that make it difficult to be a woman. There's the constant sexual harassment, the lack of access to basic health care, the pressure to get your ears pierced. And then it's hoops or studs, am I right, ladies? I was a mere 9 years old when I let some tween at Claire's maim me while she completed a transaction on a lip gloss that changes color if you have an impure thought about Justin Bieber. I am a feminist. I proudly so. There's no caveat to that, except for the one caveat I'm about to share. I feel some of my credibility is lost. Because there truly is no other area where I derive more confidence than when someone else's dad compliments my handshake. There is no drug, there is no experience, no vacation, nothing matches that high, and it's such a deep point of shame for me. But you know what, when someone else's father figure is like, oh, you know, that's quite a firm grip you've got there, the rational part of my brain is like, no, fuck that, it's sexist, he's pandering, wouldn't say that if it was a guy. But the other part, the part where the 1950s housewife still lives, is like, oh, stop it, George, really, you're too much. Here, have some more of my ambrosia salad, I know it's your favorite. Now that I feel like we've covered the female portion of my identity, we can move into the mental health aspect, as it is extensive. I struggle with a number of mental illnesses, mental illni. My depression in particular is classified as treatment resistant, which means that it doesn't respond to, it doesn't get better with mainstream therapies and drugs, which means I've gotten to try lots of experimental treatments, one of which is ketamine infusion therapy. Anyone familiar? It's fine. No one ever is. But some of you may know ketamine by its recreational name, Special K. But those of you in the equestrian community, you may be familiar with ketamine's humble origins as a fucking horse tranquilizer. So like twice a week for 8 weeks, I would go to this doctor's office and just trip balls for an hour and then like go home and do my homework. It was a weird period of my life. But I remember one session in particular, the nurse, he was hooking up my IV and he stops and he looks at me kind of suspiciously. And he's like, have you had any substances today? And I'm like, no, not other than my medication. And he kind of narrows his gaze. He's still looking very suspicious. He's like, are you sure? Because your pupils are extremely dilated. Now at this point, I'm hurt. First of all, it's 10 a.m. Good morning to you two. Second of all, I'm about to mainline a drug that could literally take down Seabiscuit. You really think I'm trying to pregame the ketamine sash? This feels like a safe space, so I've got another fun little thing to share. I sleep with gloves on. I sleep with these little white cotton gloves, and I do that because I scratch myself accidentally in my sleep, which is a problem that some of you may recall from infancy. But I love my little white gloves. I love wearing them because who wouldn't want to go to bed each night feeling ready to perform close-up magic at a moment's notice? That's the only reason I needed to stay on it. Anything for the bed. While I'm here and I have this platform and Christmas is almost a couple days away, I figure I want to go back to when we were canceling Christmas songs. And I don't need all my soldiers in the war on Christmas on this one. There's going to be some pushback. We took down Baby It's Cold Outside. Now it's time for I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus. And if you're like, Clara, that's such a sweet song, what are you talking about? If you're not angry, you're not listening. I'll review the premise of the song for the official record. The song is sung from the perspective of the child who happens upon their mother engaging in romantic relations with a man they believe to be Santa Claus. Now, as outsiders, we all have the benefit of knowing that's not the real Santa Claus, but it is the child's father dressed as Santa Claus. But what's key here is what the child sees. And there's a lyric, and it goes, oh, what a laugh it would have been if Daddy had only seen mommy kissing Santa Claus that night. A laugh? A laugh? This child is now faced with the moral quandary of whether or not to tell his father about his mother's infidelity. This is no Christmas song. This is a family in shambles. Happy holidays, everyone. I'm Clara.
All right, keep it going for Clara. Yeah. Oh my God. Oh, Christmas carols. Nobody mentioned around here. Hey, comics, join me on stage.